Hey guys, welcome back to episode 3 of how I make a no-nonsense forex algorithm. So in this episode I'm going to be looking at baselines and I'll explain why, but firstly last week we saw that CCI and JTPO were two completely different types of filters as our C2s, and I thought that I wanted to keep both of these combos for comparison so that we can see what the different parts of the algorithm do to different types of entry systems. So JTPO and ASH is obviously a slower entry system with only around 100 trades, and ASH and CCI is a faster entry system with around 380 trades. The win rates are quite similar. 2% is not too big a difference, but obviously having more trades will make it more likely that we have a worse win rate. But having it both around the same, which is means CCI is doing pretty well. In this episode, I'm going to show you that I tested MA20 and Kijun Sen, and the reason is I just always like to test against moving averages because I think they're quite basic and everyone knows about them, and obviously Kijun Sen is well known in the no nonsense forex community. So when I'm testing baselines, firstly I'll test win rates. And as you can see, MA20 and Kijun Sen on the CCI both increased the win rate for the ASH CCI combo. For JTPO though, both baselines decreased the win rate. Go a little bit of trades, not too many, just like CCI, it's still around 300-ish trades, 300, 350. But yeah, the ROI here, it's not really, we don't really care that much at this point about the ROI. I just put it there for comparative reasons, and we're not really optimizing for ROI at this point though. Next, I test baseline exits and scaling out. So obviously, because we are scaling out, we'll have double the amount of trades, and the win rate is most likely to go down. So that's quite normal for the win rate to go down when adding scaling out. The ROI is getting worse, which, yeah, still not too worried. Um, yeah, we have double the amount of trades for both, and it doesn't seem as good as just having the baseline as a filter. But moving on, I next test baseline exits and entries. So then that means we're obviously going to get a lot more trades again. And our win rate actually increased with MA20 for CCI and decreased for Kijun Sen on CCI. Yeah, which was interesting. And for JTPO, they both decreased the win rate. I'm pretty sure. Yep. But yeah, we are also getting more trades, and the ROI is still consistently bad, which is fine at this point. Yeah, and then the last thing I tested was baseline entries only and no baseline exits, which interestingly increased the win rate for both CCI and JTPO combos. Uh, I think that because we're not exiting a lot of trades earlier, we're getting into less trades. So yeah, 90 less and 70 less. Yeah, a few less on JTPO as well. And yeah, so we're getting into less of those false entries, which is pretty good. Yeah, with not keeping exits. So that's one thing to think about. But from all these stats, we can obviously see that our ROI has been consistently bad. We have way too many trades than we need, 400 and to 375 and around 150 for JTPO, which is way too much when you think that we're only testing 5 pairs and we still have 23 other pairs throughout the year to be trading. So um, yeah, we can plainly see that a good volume indicator would be great for both of these combos. So next I'm going to test volume, but how I'm going to do it is testing the entry system by itself first, which is C1, C2, and volume. And what we're going to be looking at is the win rate. And then after we find a volume that's decent enough, then we like, we'll test volume with the exit part of the exit system. And the exit system is the baseline and the exit indicator. So I'm just going to go C1, C2, volume, and baseline. And when we test for these, we're going to look at firstly ROI, but also profit factor. And I'll get into what those mean later. But yeah, from here, I still haven't got a clear picture of the Ash CCI versus the Ash JTPO combo. So we're going to keep those. And also when we go into baseline, I'm also going to still test Kijun Sen and MA20 to see how those relate to, yeah, different types of algorithms, fast or slow. So that's all I have to show you today. I was going to show you how to use the No Nonsense Forex trading assistant in the MT4 backtester, but it gets into the trade one candle too late, so I didn't think it was worth showing you guys. But yeah, hopefully this video helped out in some way, even though we didn't get good results. You could see what I think about while I'm testing and why it's better to keep going and moving forward rather than getting stuck on one indicator or one combo. Yeah, so if you have any questions, if this wasn't as clear as it could have been, leave a comment and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, see you guys next week.